What's good? It's Gangsta L Money Don't Sleep podcast. Right here with my boy Mitch, Money Making Mitch. Give Money Making Mitch a shout out. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Charlo, right here on the table. That's how we doing it over here at the Money Don't Sleep podcast. You know, like I said, I took a little break and to handle some business. Now I'm back. I'm gonna try to keep up. You know, and drop about an episode, 2 episodes a week, maybe 3, depends. You know, every time I get up here, it's off the dome. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. Like, I think you get more of a genuine feel and vibe if I just, come off the dome and just talk about, what I feel like talking about at that moment. You know, so with that being said, today we're going to talk about the ungrateful people. You know what I'm saying? People, that bite the hand that feeds them. Can't do that, man. That's the worst possible thing you could ever fucking do. You know what I'm saying? Is bite the hand that feeds you. You know, and people like that, it's just young-minded. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they're bad people. They're just young-minded. But that being young-minded is going to be costly. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. Let's say someone's helping you out. You know what I'm saying? Helping you grow, helping you better your situation. Whatever the case is, And then they turn around and be ungrateful, and bite the hand that feeds them. Like, how can you go on and feel comfortable about yourself as a person? So, like, you could be locked up and not really be locked up, if that really makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, you could be locked up because you're not growing, but you're not behind bars. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. I know that shit just came off the dome. I don't know what the hell, but it just sounded good and it felt like I needed to say it, so that's what came out right now. Like, you could be locked up without being locked up. If you don't allow your mind to grow and not think young, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. I just think ungrateful people haven't fully mentally developed, if that makes any sense. They're not growing, so they're locked up mentally because they're not growing. You get what I'm saying? Because a grown individual has gone through life to understand that you can't bite the hand that feeds you. You gotta appreciate shit. You know what I'm saying? Showing appreciation is like magic. You know what I'm saying? It makes things happen. Saying a simple thank you could lead to possible opportunities, where people help you out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Being ungrateful is just being young-minded. You know what I'm saying? You can't fault them, but you gotta hold them accountable. You know what I'm saying? You can't fault somebody that hasn't got to that point of life yet to where they mature. But you could damn well hold them accountable. Hopefully that makes them mature. And don't ever, once they cross that path, once they cross those boundaries and show you that they're ungrateful, you can't ever look at them the same. You know what I'm saying? As much as you want to, you just can't. You just can't. That's the messed up part. That you can never ever look at them the same. As much as you want to, you just can't. And you shouldn't. Let me tell you why. Because, like, a snake is always going to be a snake. It doesn't matter if it's shed, it's still a snake. And if you don't dispose of that snake properly, it's going to come back and bite you. You know what I'm saying? You got to decapitate a snake when you kill it. You can't step on it. It's going to reach around and bite you. You know what I'm saying? If you just decapitate that snake, stomp on its head, it can't bite you. In other words, in life, you decapitate people by not dealing with them no more. Not ever dealing with those type of people anymore. It's messed up because you give them the benefit of the doubt. When nobody else did, now you understand why nobody else gave them the benefit of the doubt. Now you realize why you should have did what everybody else did and just stayed away. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's crazy because sometimes you gotta people be ungrateful that's close to you, and you gotta cut them off. Whether it be friends, your best friend, you know what I'm saying, a longtime friend, family members, boyfriend, girlfriend, once they're ungrateful, once they bite the hand that feeds them, that's it, man. Because if they just, when people show you who they are, you have to believe it. You know what I'm saying? So when they cross those boundaries and betray you and display acts of ungratefulness, believe that shit. And believe that they will do it again. So don't ever deal with them after that. And that's the way you kill a snake. You decapitate it so you don't got to deal with it no more. You can step on it, but it's going to reach around and bite you. So you just got to decapitate it and not deal with that person anymore. And sometimes it hurts because it's close people, that we wish the best for, that we want to win. You know what I'm saying? And they could just be ungrateful in many type of ways. Trust me, they will show you that they're ungrateful. Because when it's time to show you gratitude and appreciation, they won't do it. Or they'll be mad if they're forced to do it. You know what I'm saying? And, deep down, inside ungrateful people is just envious. Envious feelings deep down inside. You know what I'm saying? Because why else would you hate or show ungratefulness to someone that helped you out? Someone that gave you the benefit of the doubt when nobody else would. Somebody that fed you, someone that took care of you. You know what I'm saying? Why would you bite the hand that feeds you? Because it's rooted with envious feelings. That makes sense? Because they don't have no reason to be ungrateful, to not like you, to hate you to the point where they're ungrateful and show lack of appreciation. You know what I'm saying? Because they genuinely don't like you, they're envious of you. And it's the fact they might envy you and hate you because you're able to help them out so effortlessly and so willingly that they're like, fuck, like, it doesn't even affect this person to help me out. Everyone else shuts me down, fuck. Like, and they envy the fact that you're able to help them so effortlessly. You know, like I said, everything I spit right here comes off the dome. So I hope it makes somewhat sense. You know, but these type of people, these ungrateful people, you can't ever fuck with them again, man. That's it. You could be cordial. You could love them from a distance. But to prevent this from happening ever again, you can't ever fuck with them, man. Excuse me. You can't ever deal with them. You can't ever mess with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they will do it again. And ungrateful people, one thing about ungrateful people, let me tell you something. When they say something, believe that shit. Believe that they mean it. Because like I said, their ungratefulness is rooted from envious behavior. You know what I'm saying? So that's where all this is coming from. It's envious behavior. Don't ever deal with them again, man. Love them from a distance. Be cordial if you have to be. You know, if it's a close friend, you know, you could cut people off. And since you've been with them through so much, like you choose to believe it's just a mental fart, but you got to hold them accountable. So love them from a distance. If it's family, that's a tough one. You know, you could just love them and just not deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not here encouraging people not to love their family not to love their family. That's not what I'm encouraging. Because like I said, or like I believe, God wants everybody to love each other. You know what I'm saying? God is love. So I'm not encouraging you not to love family, but you could just keep them at a distance and not deal with them. And it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. And you got to believe what they say. When an ungrateful person says something, believe that shit. Believe that shit. You know, because they mean that shit. That's bottled up hatred that they have for you. You know what I'm saying? And whether they're drunk, high, sober, they should never have those thoughts in their head. So they're guilty either which way. They can't say, "Oh, I was fucking faded. I was drunk." No, because if you're drunk, if you're faded, you're gonna speak the thoughts that's in the mind. So obviously they're lingering back there. You know what I'm saying? So they're there. And if they're sober and they say it, but there it is there. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them say, "Oh, it was my anger. I couldn't control my anger, so I said some shit." Now, you said some shit that's in the back of your head that you've been thinking. You just didn't have the balls to say it. So, like, yeah, man. But like I said, I'm not encouraging. If it's close friends, family, not encouraging you not to love them, but you ain't gotta deal with them. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta deal with them. Like, let them go their way. Wish them all the luck in the world, success, and just do you. You know, it's crazy because, like, sometimes we don't want to cut people off. Excuse me. We don't want to cut people off. So cut real quick. Anyways, Bobby, don't get that burpee part. Alright? Edit that shit. Anyways, 3, 2, 1. We don't want to cut people off. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we genuinely love them. You know, so yeah, we ain't gotta deal with them though. Fuck that shit. I ain't dealing with nobody that crossed me, betrayed me, disrespected me. You know what I'm saying? For what? So you could do it again? Especially if you close to me, you're a close homie and close friends, that's just gonna affect me. I could deal with some bullshit from a random individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, but from a family member, a friend, like, nah, fuck that shit. That shit not tolerated. You know, if a stranger, like an ungrateful person I just met, whatever, fucking, they be ungrateful. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyways, let me go ahead and cut this episode short. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Money Making Mitch once again. He was posted right here, bodyguard, making sure everything went smooth. Charlo right here too. Rest in peace, big dog Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, those that have been keeping up with my music, you know, I've been shooting a lot of videos, recording a lot. Got about 50 songs, 4 albums. We're working over here. Shout out to Joffrey. He's been doing my hooks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tony G. He's been mixing and mastering all my records. You know, I got producers, talent. You know what I'm saying? My day one producer, talent. You know, my favorite producer to work with, TY exclusive. You know what I'm saying? And a new up and coming up and coming producer. Menace on the beat. You know what I'm saying? Dope young producer, hot. You know, I brought him to the studio. We've been cooking up some dope. Straight the fuck up. We've been cooking up some straight work. You know, we got 4 albums. Shit, maybe 5. But we talking 4 right now. Money Don't Sleep 3, Money Don't Sleep 4. Mexican to Society, and a to be announced album with me and Joffrey. So yeah, with that being said, everybody have a great day, prosperous day. You know, amazing week. Get to the money, get to the bag. You want this Money Don't Sleep merchandise? Get it. www. Want this merchandise? You know what I'm saying? Money Don't Sleep tank tops. Get it. www.moneydon'tsleepbrand.com. You know what I'm saying? Quick shipping. If I ain't got it, I'll let you know I don't got it. You want your money back? You want to replace it with something else. That way you don't wait around. I don't like to keep nobody waiting. You know what I'm saying? And I know how it works. I'm an independent brand. So sometimes I got it, sometimes I don't. But I'll let you know quick, like, straight immediately. Hey, look, I ain't got that. Do you want your money back or do you want something else? Make it happen. So go ahead and shop www.moneydon'tsleepbrand.com. Tank tops, shorts, sweatpants, t-shirts, hats, beanies, jackets, tank tops, everything. Get it. Money Don't Sleep. And gaming truck. If you're in Southern California, got a gaming truck. You know, I'll pull up to any children's party. You know, hit me up. And we make that happen. Pressure washing. You know what it is. You need your house, your business pressure washed. whatever, anything, let me know. I got you. That being said, this money don't sleep. And I'm out.